Finding the right accommodation when moving to Australia to study is the biggest challenge for international students. Whether you're looking for university housing, a share house, or private rental, I've got you covered in this video with the best resources and tips to make your search a bit easier when you first arrive here. So when you first arrive, I definitely recommend staying at a friend's or families that you might know here. If not, go to a hotel until you find your permanent place, because it's good to inspect places before you commit to them. Definitely get in with uni housing as soon as you can, because if you can secure that for the first year, that is the best outcome in terms of housing, because you know it's taken care of, it's safe, and it's near uni. Most Australian universities will offer on-campus accommodation, so start by checking your university's official website for detailed info on their housing options. They often have photos, pricing, and application forms, and they get approved pretty quickly, I would say, because they want students in the student housing as soon as possible. I even got in touch with accommodation staff on an ongoing basis when I couldn't secure the accommodation, just so they would think of me when a spot opens up if someone's cancelled or can't take the room anymore. So that's really helpful as well, to keep in touch with them. They are great if you want a community vibe with facilities like study rooms and university gym, which can be great perks to meet other students as well. And with the student housing database and page, they would have an off-campus database as well if you can't secure university housing. The second is, of course, share houses and private rental. Now, I've done this too, and I've made a video about share houses versus uni housing, so you can go watch that if you want to know the difference and which one might be better for you. But share houses and private rentals are popular alternatives, and here are the best platforms to find them. Flatmates.com.au. This is Australia's go-to platform for finding share houses. I've found so many through there, but sometimes the ad can be misleading. Like, it might not look like how it looks in photos. The people might be a bit different to what you would like to live with. So that's why I recommend to definitely go inspect before you commit to it. On flatmates.com.au, you can have a free version where if they're paying for it, then you can message them. Like, either you will have to pay to message them, or they will have to pay so that people can message them, if that makes sense. But you can browse listings, filter by location, and connect with potential housemates as well. There's a section on there where you can team up with other people to find a property together on realestate.com.au and lease it together, rather than one person having the lease and you just joining a lease, which is what normally happens on flatmates.com.au, where landlords or people on the lease put up their ads so other people can come and stay. Now, another local app is called Gumtree, where you can find rooms as well. It's classic for everything and also rentals. Be cautious and verify listings to avoid potential scams. Now, there's also Domain and realestate.com.au. They're perfect for finding private rentals, so if you just want a one-bedroom apartment, or you want to choose the place you're going to live in and then bring in housemates, and then you can list the room in the apartment for other people to find on flatmates.com.au. But yeah, on Domain and realestate.com.au, real estate agents will put up landlords' properties that they want to rent out, and they list apartments, houses, studio spaces across Australia, and then you can go inspect and apply. But keep in mind, then utilities like water bills, electricity, and internet will not be included. That will be on top of the rental price, so you'll need to organize all that. But it's pretty straightforward from what I've heard when you get a rental to get all these things set up, because a lot of people do it. Now, the third option is when you really want to be in a student-focused environment but not at uni housing and still want that tailored experience. Check out student-specific accommodation providers like Unilodge, Scape, and Student.com. These are designed for students and come with perks like utilities included and focus on security. They're very well-maintained buildings and rooms, but they come with that price as well, because they include a lot of perks like student spaces, gyms, communal kitchens where people can come and mingle, and they would have events to bring people together as well. But they do offer convenience and a great environment for meeting other students, because to get into these buildings and rooms you have to be a student, so it's safe and a communal vibe between students. So I really recommend those as well, because they're very well renowned, so you can't go wrong with them if you can't find uni housing and you're a bit scared of share houses and living with random people just yet. Now, my fourth tip is actually really popular in Australia: Facebook groups and online communities. Don't underestimate the power of Facebook groups in Australia. A lot of people get connected to find flatmates or find jobs, so I recommend just getting in every group that you can of your city. They'll be named like Sydney International Students, or Sydney Student Housing, or Sydney City Apartment Search, or Sydney City Flatmate Search. These groups are active, with student posting available rooms, sublets, and even advice on navigating the rental market. It's kind of like having a community board where people used to list available rooms around campus, and now you can easily browse them in a Facebook group and even check out your flatmate's Facebook profile if that helps. Now I'll just give you a few tips for a smooth accommodation search when you arrive. I would definitely recommend to start early. I know I was late in applying for uni housing and I missed out my first year living on campus, which would have been better, but I did it later on anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But uni housing and student service providers like Unilodgescape, their accommodation gets booked very quickly because there's so many students coming here to study and wanting a secure place to live. So try to get in as early as possible. My second tip is to set a budget. Don't go beyond budget if you don't think you can commit to that rent per week. And factor in rent, utilities, and transport costs to see how much it would cost you to live in that specific place. Visit in person. Inspecting the property, if it's especially a stranger's house, is really beneficial to see if it fits your needs and the environment you want to be in, and to ensure it matches the listing. And also read reviews. For student housing providers like Scape, check reviews from other students of their experiences they've had there. And most importantly, always read your lease agreement carefully before signing to see if you can still get out of it and what your rights are for a private rental if you're doing that, because rentals, like ending the lease, costs you a lot because you have to pay a bond of 1 month up front. That's kind of like a security deposit that they take to ensure, you know, you don't damage the property when you leave, or that you don't just leave. But make sure you have your rights stated in the lease agreement. Finding accommodation in Australia can be overwhelming, but with the right resources and a bit of planning, you'll find a place that feels like home in no time. But also be mindful, a place feeling like home can take a year or more. You know, it's a new space, new environment, so give it time and good luck. For more Australia and student specific tips, make sure to subscribe or support this video by liking and commenting any questions you have, or DM me on Instagram, and I'll be sure to answer them in the coming days because I'm posting every day on here or replying to you directly. So I'll see you next time.